What's going on, everyone? This is my cat Annie. She loves her daddy, and she's really sad that you haven't yet subscribed to my channel. Look, she is willing to be as cute as she needs to be to deliver you the inspiration to finally click that red subscribe button down below the video and make sure that you leave a like for Annie. You wouldn't want to make her sad now, would you? No. Listen to her purr. Can you hear her purring? Yeah, see? You've clicked it. I feel it. I felt Annie knows. Now a bunch of you have subscribed, and she is thankful for that. So, interesting, spicy Gina Carano news coming out, including not only her termination from the Fast and Furious franchise and rumors of her talking with Pedro Pascal, but also the Cara Dune story leaking, allegedly. So let's start off with first and foremost, the story about the Fast and Furious. So here's Gina Carano reportedly fired by the Fast and Furious franchise for fear of PR headaches. A Hollywood insider says Universal Studios were concerned over Carano's personal and political opinions. Former MMA star Gina Carano's acting career took a major hit this year when she was fired from the wildly popular Mandalorian. Carano lost her role as Cara Dune on the Star Wars spin-off due to spicy social media posts. In addition to being removed from The Mandalorian, production on her character's action figures Funko Pops also ceased. Yesterday, it was reported that Carano had her episode of Running Wild with Bear Grylls shelved too. Carano appeared in The Fast and Furious 6 in 2013 with her character Riley Hicks, suffering a brutal on-screen ending. However, according to an insider Daniel Rickman, Carano, who had seen her star rise thanks to The Mandalorian, was set to return to the Fast and Furious series via some movie magic to reprise her role. Rickman tells, we got this covered again, so Rickman's more reliable, but, you know, it's a rumor, that Carano nearly rejoining the Fast and Furious came despite his claim that she was originally written out of the series over concerns by Universal Studios. Without presenting any evidence of this, Rickman states that Universal executives feared Carano could potentially cause them PR headaches based on her personal and political opinions. Carano does not have a long history of social media posts that would lead to this. 2020 is thought to be the first year Carano began sharing any of her views, met with immediate backlash. Among those 2020 posts were memes that the far left didn't like, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, did she lose a role on Fast and Furious? It's possible. I wouldn't be surprised. It also turns out that she's mad at her former cast. Gina Carano reportedly upset that her Mandalorian co-stars didn't stand by her after her firing. Why wouldn't she be? This is like one of the most obvious things on the planet. We saw these Disney people stand together with their director, James Gunn, because, you know, he had the same political opinions of them, but none of them stood by her at all, outside of maybe Bill Burr in a passing comment. Carano is reportedly upset that her Mandalorian co-stars didn't stand up for her when she was fired from Lucasfilm. The studio removed the actress from this, you know, blah, 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 you know, because she has divisive right-wing posts. It was also a bad move or a spicy move for the former MMA star, as Disney's decision to sever ties with Carano led to her agency doing the same thing. The actress was not contacted directly by Lucasfilm, only finding out online. Now, Daniel Rickman has shared on his Patreon page that Carano was, quote, disappointed in her co-stars for not hitting back at Disney for firing her or showing her any support. It's unknown which ones she was particularly upset with, although before she was given the boot, Pedro Pascal and Ming-Na Wen both gushed about working with her on social media. So she appeared to have a good professional relationship with these two, even if it seems they've elected to not get involved in this sticky situation. Now, look, I understand somebody not wanting to torpedo their own career, you know, to quote unquote die on that hill for Carano. It's a bummer that that's the way society is completely, but I'm not necessarily surprised. It's very possible that Carano doesn't hold any long-term grudges against her co-stars. In fact, she said as much about Pascal in her post-firing interview. She adores him despite their wildly different political views. It's also been claimed before that Pascal reached out to Carano to warn her about her social media behavior before she was gone. Now, that's so sad. To warn you about your social media behavior? What does that even mean? What behavior? Having an independent thought? And you see, Carano reportedly asked Pedro Pascal to talk to Disney after her firing. This more, this also put out. In fact, in a bit of new intel in the situation, which comes from, again, Daniel Rickman, the former MMA star asked the Mandalorian leading man, Pedro Pascal, to talk to Disney for her in an effort to make them reverse their decision. It's currently unclear if Pascal did as requested, probably not, but it seems unlikely as Rickman notes that nothing came of it. This follows on a previous rumor shared pointing to Pascal reaching out to Carano before her firing. This might paint a picture of the two co-stars falling out over this, especially given their extremely divergent political opinions. However, that really doesn't seem to be the case. Well, I mean, Carano doesn't hold any grudges, but, Pedro Pascal probably does, because there's a section of people on one side of the aisle, well, that's probably on both, but when we're talking about Hollywood, that view somebody with different political opinions like as an enemy that needs to be destroyed, not even as somebody who needs to be educated or somebody that, is worth, trying to find middle ground with. No, they want to destroy them. Now, on Friday, Cara Dune's story leaked. A credible source claims Favreau had big plans, and this is via Overlord DVD. Is making big claims about supposed leak direct from Lucasfilm employee. The YouTube channel is known for reporting on Star Wars and Lucasfilm and has been right in the past with leaks about the season finale of Game of Thrones, The Rise of Skywalker. Be advised, we cannot independently verify everything. Well, I'll say this about Overlord DVD. They've almost always been right. They were like 100% right about The Rise of Skywalker and a wide variety of other sources. That doesn't automatically mean that they're right about this, but it does, it is a reliable source in my opinion. What is interesting about the video that the YouTuber is claiming to have direct information from a Lucasfilm employee. That's a pretty bold statement. Usually it's hard to get a leak like this without having to be extremely careful about revealing any details. So we already know, obviously, Carano gone, right? After Carano was targeted by a large number of individuals on Twitter demanding she put pronouns in her bio, we all know this, Overlord DVD claims that the Lucasfilm leaker relayed that Jon Favreau's original plan was to have Cara Dune be a major character in the new Boba Fett series, and then essentially be the star of the series Rangers of the New Republic. While we can't confirm the Boba Fett rumor, it is our understanding that Carano was indeed set to be a star in Rangers of the New Republic series as recently as November. We've been told in the past that it was her social media posts about vote transparency that got her in hot water with Disney brass to point to she was a dead actress walking. Overlord DVD further claims that the big baddie for the next few series would have been named Darth Talon, which again aligns with what we've heard in the past. At this time, we cannot confirm the story that YouTube channel details for how these characters will move throughout the now canned narrative. Finally, the video talks about an interaction between Jon Favreau and Lucasfilm employee. We cannot independently verify any private conversations between Favreau and anyone else. There's simply no way to do that. All we can say is that Favreau is intensely private. We also know that through various delays, leaks, and sources that losing Carano has been a significantly disruptive to the prior story map and has been developed by Favreau Filoni, Star Wars universe. The latest we've heard is that The Mandalorian Season 3 may be delayed all the way till mid-year 2023 because of the behind-the-scenes drama. Well, I think that, I just, why can't, it's frustrating. Like, why can't they just bring her back? There's literally nothing preventing them from coming to an agreement. I don't, I don't think that where we are right now with cancel culture is healthy. I think the existing, and you probably agree with me, that the existing kind of narrative is that nobody has any redeemable, there's no path to redemption. We can even see people like Sarah Silverman waking up to stuff like this. There's no path to forgiveness once you've been canceled. And that's just such a sad state of events. I'm not even saying that there aren't people out there that deserve to be fired. I don't know if anyone deserves to be canceled, because cancel culture now is so wildly aggressive and devastating that it's not just about getting fired. It's about ruining their life. And, I hope that you all agree with me. Even the people that I strongly disagree with the most, I hope sincerely that there is an awakening in 2021 where people are allowed a path to redemption. Did Gina Carano, she made a foolish business decision in sharing her independent thoughts on social media. We know this. And I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying, from a business perspective, if I had right-leaning, political opinions and I worked for Disney, you'd have to just, quote unquote, know better. Now, Carano doesn't need the money, and she's going to bounce back and she's going to get roles again. But I just think this idea that nobody with different political opinions is redeemable is such a sad, toxic way to live. I'd really, really like to see Disney just find a way to work with her again. And this would be a great time. Disney talked about, Lucasfilm talked about when they fired her, about how they were divisive posts. I think the stronger message would be to find a way to work with Gina again and show the world that we can all get along and that situations are redeemable. Maybe Gina makes a small apology. Maybe Disney, makes a small apology, and the fans get what they want, because really it's the fans that get hurt by this the most. And it's a really disappointing situation. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.